Gary Peterson here. Today we're going to talk about your left-hand service box and serving from the left-hand box. Generally what will happen is you'll stand, some people stand relatively at the top of the box here and they'll move backwards towards the tee. Other people choose to stand about level, so they'll go straight across, and some people may choose to even serve from about here, so they actually move forward to the position on the court, which is where most people stand, which is about here. I generally stand around about here and I'll just walk in as I serve. So what I'll do is I'll just start walking, hit, and then off I'll go. Alright, so basically if you get momentum to where you want to finish, which is towards the tee, and so the motion will be like this: you'll hit there, you'll come across here, and you'll jump, and that will happen. The split step will happen when they strike the ball. Alright, so that's one thing. Let's talk about the hit, not the strike, because that's where all the good stuff is. So it's really quite difficult to actually nail the side wall sometimes, because that's the most important thing, is to hit the side wall prior to your opponent striking the ball. Now if you understand what's going on, by the time I step across here, I'm basically serving the ball from the middle of the court. So that's my strike point. So what that means is it's like standing here and hitting the ball and getting it on the side wall over there. So it's really narrow because I've started from there. So you can choose to start from back here, but then you've got a further way to go to get back into play as in your body position. So it's generally not good. It's good for the angle of the serve, but it's not good for the positioning of your body. So we can work around this. Remember, I've got a tight forehand drive, and that's controlling or cutting around the back of the ball. So what happens from here? If you can have a serve and you can cut around the back. So to do that, you don't throw the ball in front of your body, and you definitely don't throw the ball up here. People who think they need a tennis serve in squash, there is no PSA player, to my knowledge, that's doing this, to serve, to put the ball in. So I know people have got pet serves and they work really well, and they work, good luck to you, there's no drama at all. But generally, let's work on what works for most, like 99.9% of people in the world. We're going to start here and we're going to hit the ball in our zone between our hip and our shoulder. Don't throw the ball up like this, because that's not repeatable. It's very difficult to work out the timing. I'm going to just let it go. So I'm going to just let it go and hit it. So my hand will just let it go, so I know exactly where it is, so I can get a repeatable outcome each time. So from here, I'll throw it there and I'll just let it go upwards direction, just. And from there, I don't want to hit the ball too far in front of my body. I want to hit it at least level, or even level with my back hip. So I'll throw the ball there and then there. Right, so the height, we'll work on the height, which is just the same level as the outer court line, and we'll allow gravity to bring the ball in. So instead of trying to hit the ball up here with a lob, which is good if you can do it, but you're playing with the outer court line. And because you get tired through a match, it becomes a little bit tough, and you're just giving away 3 points. Not a good thing, because it can be a real momentum shifter when the game's up to 11. So it's better to get a safe serve on the outer court line, let gravity bring it in, back level with this hip there, and that's perfect. So that's spot on. All right, so that will make it bounce in the back corner and then into the back wall prior to your opponent striking it. Hopefully you hit the side wall before they do. Okay, so let's work on putting a bit of bite on your forehand serve. So now, instead of putting it out here and hitting it through there nicely and trying to push your racket towards the front wall, let's throw it back here a little bit and cut. So I'm going to cut towards the side wall. So I'm going to step this way and push that way. So I step this way and push that way, I get this bite on the ball, and it pushes your strings around and everything, and it gives you this real capability or feeling of control of the ball, and so I can pinpoint almost the spot that I want to hit. It's pretty low accurate serve, so it doesn't go out too often, or very rarely goes out, so it's pretty cool. The other component that I'm doing, and what gives me that cut that way, is this. This will start close, so then I can push that out when I want it, out that way. So what I'm not doing is going out that way, I'm going out that way. Okay? So I'm going to start this close here, and I'm going to push that out that way. And that's quite a fast serve. I can slow that down a little bit, but use the same action to get a bit of height about it and understand how to get that perfect serve where it's on the back wall. It's basically rolling along the back wall now. So it works really well, and that one will do the one. So you can vary the speed by getting that step and push faster or push slower with a slight angle. So the angle there will change the height. That's what will change the height of the ball. Now, the variation becomes on striking lower. So if I strike the ball from down here instead of up here, and I go like that, you'll put that little bit of a loop into it, and you just got to be careful not to hit it too hard, and that's your variation. So I try not to serve the same every time, or your opponent becomes used to it. I'll go down the middle of the court sometimes, so that's that fast arm one, that one here. We'll go down there. That's hit the door, just down the middle line. So that's the surprise one. Or you can go at their body, at the nick behind them at their body. And so what they're doing then, they're standing there ready to return the ball, and they've got to jump out of the way, and then it's hitting the back wall, and it's really tough to get. So it gives you all those options that you'll throw in every now and then just to keep them guessing as to where the ball's going to be. So they're not super comfortable in creeping up and working it out. Right, so there you go. So there are your options, and then you can start to go from round about back here a little bit. So that'll finish everything up a little bit shorter there, and it's a little bit different to serve from here, so you might have to practice it a little bit. And you'll find it works really quite well. I felt like that had more chance to go in from back there. So I got a bit more drop out of the ball from back here than I did from up here. I didn't get the drop on the ball, but the ball dropped more when I served from back here. So I serve from here, that gets more drop on the ball, and it finishes over near the back wall again. And so just experiment. Even if you just have your same normal serve and you move up and down this line a little bit, work out what works for you and how it works. But I can guarantee you can get some cut towards the side wall, you can get feel and control, and you'll bite the ball. It will bite on your racket, and you'll get this wonderful control, a wonderful feeling, and it's a good action on the ball as well. So it works really, really quite well. If you're going to lob serve, don't lob serve from here. Why would you lob serve from here if you want to get the ball up? If you're going to lob serve, you should be lob serving from down here. So what happens, you should be as low as you can, so you hit the ball up high as you can. So what happens is the ball then comes down on your opponent, and then it still hasn't come out of the corner, it's still in there. And so what I've done is I've taken from a low base and I've stepped forward, so I'm hitting the ball from out here instead of hitting the ball from over here. So now I've got as close as I can to the front wall, and I've lifted it up as much as I can, which is just like playing a lob from the front court. So if you're going to play a lob serve, get in here and lob it up and get down low, rather than trying to do your lob serve up here, because you're already halfway gone. I've got that much more height to work with, which gives me much more range to get the ball in. So there you go. That's a fair bit in-depth understanding of the left-hand service box, of what you can do and how you can do it, or some of the options. I'm sure there's more, but it's quite a good thing to work out and see how you go with it. I think you'll find it's really, you'll get a groove and you'll understand the ones that work for you. Hit it off your back shoulder is the biggest thing I can say. Don't hit it out in front of your body. It gets too fat, and they just come in with a dead racket and put the ball short, and you find it's really tough. At least if you bite on the ball, it dies really quick in the back corner once you hit the side wall. It's pretty cool.